Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Export Jamaica presentation and demonstration. This is the first of 3 export information sessions being hosted by the Trade Board Limited in partnership with the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. My name is Rashane Reed. I am the Director of Public Education and Public Relations here at the Trade Board Limited, and I will be your moderator for today. A special welcome to you all for joining. To formally open today's event, it is my distinct pleasure to invite the Deputy Chairman of the Board of Directors here at the Trade Board Limited and Chair of the Trade Facilitation Task Force, Miss Dania Ashpole, to bring greetings. Miss Ashpole.
Thank you, Rashane. Good morning, everyone. To our distinguished guests, colleagues, stakeholders, a special morning. As the Deputy Chair of the Board of the Trade Board Limited, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this important information session on the Export Jamaica platform. I believe that this platform is a tangible expression of our commitment to driving Jamaica's export and economic transformation. I realize my camera isn't on, Rashane. One moment. Yes, as I was saying before, it's my pleasure because I truly believe that this is one such platform that is tangible in our expression of our commitment to driving Jamaica's export growth and economic transformation. And especially the team of the Trade Board knows that this is one of the efforts that I'm most proud of as a part of the Board of Directors. And I believe I can speak for the other directors to say that we are proud of what the platform has grown into. And I believe that this platform will empower our exporters with the right information to succeed in what I believe is an increasingly competitive global marketplace. For me, information in a digital space is particularly important, particularly for small island developing states as Jamaica, as we try to compete on a global scale. And Export Jamaica, in my mind, is one of the most strategic tools designed to provide a comprehensive market intelligent information in one place. And even if we look at the other platforms, for example, the ITC platform and all the other platforms globally, I believe that this is one of the stronger ones that exist. And we have with us, through the Trade Board Limited, with support from the ministry, one of the most powerful digital tools that we can have in guiding our exporters, guiding our traders to the market opportunities. We always say knowledge is power. But I believe that it's not just power. It is, in today's world, it's really the currency of success. And so without this type of information, I believe that we are setting up ourselves for failure. So with Export Jamaica, I believe that we do have a strategic tool for setting up Jamaican traders, Jamaican exporters for success. It is important to note, and this is something we were keen on in designing the Export Jamaica platform, in ensuring that the information present on the platform is not static. So when you visit the platform, the information changes based on the information on the markets that the platform covers. That, I believe, is key in making it that tangible tool for success, so that it is constantly relevant, it's constantly updated. This, I believe, is the only way to ensure that we reduce what we always refer to as the non-tariff barriers, because we know the information before we attempt to enter into these markets. And it will raise our reputation, I believe, as a reliable source of world-class goods and services. as we go through this session, I implore you to actively engage, ask the relevant questions, utilize the tool, highlight the deficiencies of the tool so we can fix the deficiencies to ensure that this platform remains relevant. Again, I welcome you to this information session, and I will leave the bulk of the time to the presentation on the tool that I believe, again, is the most strategic tool that we have today, not only in Jamaica, possibly in the region, possibly globally, that presents this information in such a comprehensive way to us, all our exporters and traders. I thank you, welcome, and enjoy the presentation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ashford, for that warm and engaging charge to the exporters who are in attendance. At this time, I invite Ms. Shakira Brown, Economic and Trade Data Analyst at the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, to bring greetings. Ms. Brown.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Hello?
Morning. Go ahead.
Rashane, you were trying to say something? Not sure.
Go ahead, Shakira. Go ahead.
Good morning again, everyone. On behalf of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA for short, I am delighted to bring greetings and welcome you to this informative webinar on using the Export Jamaica Gateway for market insights. At the JMEA, we remain deeply committed to supporting our members and partners in driving growth and creating opportunities within Jamaica's vibrant export sector. The Export Jamaica portal is a transformative resource for businesses of all sizes, particularly our MSMEs. It empowers exporters to navigate the complexities of international trade with greater efficiency and confidence. More than just a tool, the platform serves as a dynamic gateway to global market intelligence, compliance guidance, and practical resources, all tailored to help Jamaican businesses excel in competitive international markets. As the economic and trade data analyst at the JMEA, I actually have firsthand experience with how impactful this platform can be. It provides me with reliable global market data and trade trends to create detailed reports for our members. By leveraging these features, I can analyze potential markets, identify opportunities, ensuring that companies receive timely and relevant guidance to support international expansion. The Export Jamaica Gateway is not just an asset for analysts like myself, it's a game changer for our exporters. It simplifies access to critical information, allowing you to focus on what to do best, producing high-quality goods and services. As we continue this session, I encourage you to explore the platform's features and consider how they can help your business unlock new markets and achieve greater success on the global stage. Thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to an engaging and insightful session. Thank you.
Thank you too, Ms. Brown, for that warm greetings. What I particularly liked about your greetings is it was in the form of a testimony. You testified about the usefulness and worth of Export Jamaica, and we're here to promote the usefulness and worth of the platform. So thank you very much for sharing your insights and your experience with utilizing the platform. We truly appreciate your support being here today, and we value the JMEA's partnership for this type of engagement. Now, at this time in the program, we will move to the main feature for today's information session. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce my colleague and esteemed presenter, Mr. Jason Mills, who is the Manager of Systems Engineering and Programming here at the Trade Board Limited. With over 20 years in the IT sector, Mr. Mills is keen on the efficient and effective use of technology in all areas of work. Mr. Mills has intimate knowledge of Export Jamaica, and he also has intimate knowledge of the Jamaica Trade Information Portal. As Mr. Mills prepares to launch into his presentation of Export Jamaica, please note that your questions will be taken during the question and answer segment of this session. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have a round of applause, please, for Mr. Jason Mills in the chat. A round of applause. Thank you. Jason, over to you.
Thank you very much, Rashid. Good morning, all. We will now be taking a look at Export Jamaica's market intelligence and compliance services and tools. In this presentation, we will be highlighting some of the key features and functionalities and to see how Export Jamaica will be able to benefit you as its users. So the question is, so what is Export Jamaica? Export Jamaica is a gateway provided by the Trade Board Limited, which provides global market intelligence and compliance information, tools, and other resources to support Jamaican businesses to expand into international markets. Through Export Jamaica, Jamaican businesses can access information that will help them overcome some of the challenges of selling their products into overseas markets by learning and taking advantage of new growth opportunities. Some of the benefits of utilizing Export Jamaica are: 1. Users can discover new and potential markets for their products, including potential buyers and business opportunities. 2. Users can find market information such as custom duties, access requirements, and procedures for goods entering into other countries. 3. Users can also ascertain import and export compliance requirements for various countries around the world. Users can also access tools to aid in the calculation and conversion of export information. Other benefits include better understanding of the international markets we are looking to do business with, expanding market access reach, improve competitiveness with your competitors, and entities will be better able to manage their risks more effectively. Export Jamaica comprises of over 21 different modules which have been placed into 3 main categories. The first, explore new markets. This section, you can explore global markets for exporting products by accessing international markets using modules such as country profiles, market insights, import and export detail statistics, and other information that is available. Under the second category, there is engage businesses. This section utilizes a collection of different databases to discover potential trade partners and marketplaces in your desired region, along with valuable resources to facilitate international negotiations. This section allows users to identify new business opportunities via our databases of importers and suppliers, tenders worldwide, trade shows that are available, business directories, whether B2B marketplace or B2C, as on other information that is available. The third category, users are able to obtain the information needed to manage their shipment and comply with rules and regulations in the target country, as well as find the applicable duties on the product level. So these are the 3 categories. And as the table shows in the presentation, the modules that falls on each category. The first module, best countries to trade, which falls on the explore new markets. So best countries to trade. These modules allow users to identify the top partner countries to export any given product based on the largest trade flows. This product is defined by the 6-digit HS code, which is a collection of over 5,000 different products description. The second module, country profile. This is a profile on over 188 countries around the world as it relates to trade and general information on how you conduct business with these countries. Third, import and export flows. This module identifies the value of export or import flows for any given product, which is broken down by the HS code, to and from one or a set of countries chosen by the users. There's markets insights. This contains over 25,000 industry and country-specific market reports and industry insights. This database enables users to find detailed information about any given product or industrial sector in the country of their interests. The second category, first module under the engaged businesses, counterparts. This search tool helps you identify which companies import or export a selected product and provide an outline of the trade activities of each company. This module has over 1.5 million companies listed worldwide. There's also the business literature module, and this is a collection of databases of over 1,800 business literatures from around the world within different industries. There's a professional associations, and this database includes over 5,400 professional organizations represented by their business sectors in a given country. Trade shows. This module allows users to search our international trade shows database to find upcoming international events in the sector or country of their choice. And this not only spans for goods, it also spans for services as well. Fifth module in this section, marketplaces. This database includes over 510 marketplaces classified by their country, continent, and/or industry. Information provided includes a short description of the marketplace, the market features, proposed KPIs, and the geographical coverage and the type of sale that is expected, whether it's B2B or business to consumer, etc. And then there's the tenders modules, which tenders are published by the public and private entities worldwide are listed here. On the third category, so the modules available are shipping documents. This database identifies all the necessary documents to authorize the departure of goods from one country and their entry into another country for all parties involved in the trade and transportation process. There's the import controls. This database identifies product-specific barriers to importing, such as quotas, license requirements, anti-dumping, countervailing duties, prohibitions, embargoes, permits, or whatever documents that is needed to go into the receiving country in relation to importing any product described by its local custom classification code. So this classification code is the classification code of the country that you chose that you want to export to. And this would include over 190 countries around the world. The export controls. This database identifies license requirements and restrictions for exporting any goods, including dual-use goods, into any country. There's also the blacklisted counterparts. This database assists in establishing whether a company or an individual has been placed on an official list of parties sanctioned or banned from foreign trade transactions around the world. This tool also identifies vessels that have been blacklisted in response to fraudulent shipment practices. There's over 700 restricted party lists that are compiled and put in place at your disposal, and it relies on lists from like the UN, the EU, US consolidated lists around the world, and plus other government national lists from around the world. And then there is the local classification and the HS classification, customs classifications. This tool enables users to find their local customs classification code up to the 12 digits where applicable in 133 countries around the world using the three structure of the local classification, a search keyword, or a search by the HS code. So based on your familiarity with the HS code, we provide multiple options. So if you know the HS code, you can scroll through it, or you can just type in keywords and it will provide the information that is available in the description. Other tools that are available, a landing cost calculator, a tool which calculates duties, import taxes, transportation and insurance charges for importing goods. There's a selling price calculator, a tool to determine the selling price of a specific product, including all the necessary costs related to the exporting into a given country. And this is based on your input, it will do calculation on your behalf. And there's also a currency converter, which converts over 165 countries' currency around the world. And there's also a measurement converter, a tool that converts for any measurement system. We will now be doing a demonstration of the gateway to see how it works. All right, so the gateway can be accessed by going to the URL www.tradeboard.gov.jm/exportjamaica, or you can go to the Tradeboard's website and click on the link marked Export Jamaica to access the gateway. As mentioned, the modules with the categories are at the top. You'll see Explore New Markets and the modules that fall below, Engage Businesses, and the modules that are listed here. And there's the third category, Customs and Compliance, and it shows all the modules that are listed here. There's also the information about Export Jamaica, some of the benefits. If you scroll further down, you'll see contact information in which you can reach out in the case that there's any issue that you'd like to contact us about, as well as a feedback form and a frequently asked questions section. To utilize Export Jamaica, the user will first have to register to create a profile on the system. You can click on the login section and then click on sign up, and then you can do two forms of registration: business registration and individual registration. In the initial stage of launching the gateway, we had originally started off with business, but realized that based on the fact that persons may have an idea and want to actually explore that idea before they actually go ahead and register a business, it was decided that we would provide an individual registration for individuals who have not yet become a business. So for business registration, certain information is asked, such as your business name, business registration number, TRN number, first name, last name, job title, email address, just information in order to create a profile. And some of these information are actually validated against the company's office database, just to make sure that we are providing the benefit for Jamaican companies. And then there's the individual registration now, which asks you for basic information such as your TRN number, first name, last name, job title, if applicable, an email address, phone number, and then you create your account using your username and password. So once you have filled out that registration and submit, we will then validate and approve, which normally takes within 24 to 48 hours for approval. So now that you have created an account, you can I will just log in. In this case, I would agree to the terms and conditions. and I'm into the system. All right, so now for the real demonstration. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll use a scenario using a farmer who decides to cultivate a particular product. Say, for example, ginger. Say he's looking to start that production and wants to know outside of the local market, how can he get this product overseas? So this is how Export Jamaica can actually help. But first, the farmer would have quite a number of questions that he'd like to ask, like what are the main countries that will be importing my product? What are the size of the markets that are available? Information on doing business with countries around the world. What are the companies that I may target to transact business with? And what are the controls that are in place in regards to license, permits, restrictions, or that are applicable to the country that I may be interested in? I, as a farmer, would also want to know what documents will be required to export to those countries, and what duties would be needed to pay to export that particular product into those countries. So this is how Export Jamaica can actually assist. In order to utilize the gateway, you can, if you're familiar with the gateway, you can click on start the modules. But what we have done, most persons might, for the first time, they might not know where to start. You can simply click on the Get Started section, which will take you to a list of modules that we would recommend that you begin with. The first module would be the best countries to trade. This module allows users to identify the top partner countries to export any given product based on the largest trade flows. So at the top, you'd see the option looking for the best countries to. In this case, we're looking to export. But in the case that, for example, you are a producer or a manufacturer, you can click the import from option, so you can actually look for raw material, such as packet material or anything that you like to source for your production. But in this case, we choose export to. In the case that you are familiar with the HS code, you can click and start to manipulate and search through the HS code. But as a farmer, I would not know where to start with going through that list. So you can simply click on the browse, the classification, and then you can simply type in a keyword to search, in this case, ginger. And then once you click on search, the results will be populated as it is listed in the HS description. Just note, the description is based on international standards, so not every product is listed. So some are categorized. So you can do different searches to see if you can find your keywords that would match. In this case, ginger is applicable in the description, so it will find the information there. So it shows you the sections, the chapter, the subchapter, and in this case, we choose the 6-digit itemized description. Ginger neither crush nor ground, because it's straight from the farmer. Once you select that item, it will populate the code here, and then you can click on search, and then it will provide the information as shown below. So what is being shown here? The largest export flows for your products under the list of products here, and this is from around the world. So this will show, this table basically shows the largest countries that are importing ginger. So those will be your markets that you can export to. So it shows based on the United States being #1, and it shows a 3-year breakdown. So you can basically analyze the trends to see if it's how the flow is going over the last 3 years. And there's also a percentage change to show over for example, in this case, the year 2023 to 2022, there's actually an increase over this period of 5%. So you can know whether where the trend is going to assist in your decisions. So United States, Netherlands, and Germany will be the top 3 countries that are importing ginger from around the world. And if you scroll right down, by default, it will show 10 but you can click on load more to see more results, and the list will be continue as the data is available. So these are countries importing changes from general places around the world. But in your case, in case you want to know, for example, what is Jamaica exporting around the world, you can select Jamaica and you would see the information as to what Jamaica is actually exporting around the world. So the leading exporting country of ginger, it would be the United States, followed by Canada and Cayman Islands. But for the purpose of this, I would stick to the world. So these countries I'll be focusing on for the remainder of the presentation. All right, so we know the countries are very interested in United States, Netherlands, and Germany. So based on the guided tour, we can select the following module 2, country profiles. So there's United States, Netherlands, and Germany. I know quite a few, quite enough information about United States, but Netherlands, I've heard the name, but I don't know much as a farmer about Netherlands. So I don't want to do business. So let's do some research. So what this list is calculates of over 188 countries, a country profile of these countries. Let's click on Netherlands, for example. On the first page, you will see an introduction, which gives you general information, so you can understand the market in which you might be looking to penetrate. So you'd understand the total population size, the information that is provided, the language that is spoken, in this case, Dutch, other language spoken, for example, commercial language, English, German, Spanish, business language, and in this case, the majority of population speaks English, which is the most used language in trade, and also the religion, because based on your product, it's important to know religion in most cases, depending, for example, if it's a Muslim country, you would want to export something like a pork type of product or so forth. It also shows you the currency and a general country overview, the size of the land, etc. Telecommunication information such as the telephone codes, and also general trade figures, importing and exporting of goods, and importing and exporting of services. And it gives you a 5-year breakdown. So that is just the introduction. There's also additional headings such as economic and political information. There's just a trade profile. So there's business practices. Let's click on business practices. So this basically gives you more information about the business culture of the part of the country in which you chose. So you can read to better understand how they do business. For example, the fundamental principles of business culture, the first contact, time management, greeting and titles, gift policy, dress code, etc. So if in case you're doing business or you're traveling to these countries, the kind of business, you can have the information before you actually arrive at these countries. Additional information that is provided: tax system, legal environment, reaching the consumer, and selling. Let me zoom in on selling for a little bit. Well, this will be important based on you're looking to export to those countries. So it gives you a detailed information about the market access procedure, and on that it breaks down by the custom procedure, import procedures, for example, taxes, general taxes applicable, specific import procedures, import samples, for example, custom duties and taxes on imports. And this is just general information. Other modules will break down the information from a product level. But I'm scrolling down for one particular section that I think is very, very important: labeling and packaging rules. For existing exporters, sending your product to some of these countries, there are modifications that might be necessary for your labels, such as simply the mark of origin, made in. In some cases, that might differ based on the country in which you are exporting to. The language is also necessary to pay attention to, as well as the units and all the information that are here. So I think this is an important section for you to have understanding before you do business with those countries. And not only do we provide the general information, we also provide, if you click on this link, it will take to the entity that is responsible for those labeling enforcements. Scroll down a little bit more, distribution of products, types of outlets that are available, evolution of trade. So there's quite a lot of information that you can use to do your market research before you actually step foot in the country or try to do business with them. So there's additional information such as buying category, operating a business within a country in case you're looking to do a business there, investing in that country. There's also entry requirement, what is needed to enter that country, as well as living in that country. And there's also, our friend, the COVID-19, those protocols that would govern in that case. So what have we learned so far? So far we have learned from the best countries to export. Some of the countries that are looking to, that we can look to export to or export our products to. We have now kind of did some research on the country that we might be interested in. Now, the other thing that we want to know, who are the buyers in those countries? So this is how the gateway can assist. The third recommend module, find counterparts. This search tool helps you identify the companies imports or exports as the companies which import or export a part of products and provide an outline of the trade activities of each company. This module has over 1.5 million. This module has over 1.5 million companies listed worldwide, and it provides some sample transaction, not the detailed transaction, but some sample transaction, so you can have an idea. So let's dive a little bit in this module. In our case, we know the product that we're interested in. The type of company that we're searching for, we're looking for an importer of our product. In the case you're looking for a supplier, you can choose the other routes, or we're looking for an importer in this case. We can select the products by searching. And just a note, you can select multiple products in this this option as well. And then we can select the country, which United States, and then search. All right, so based on the product that we chose, ginger, neither crushed nor ground, or ginger crushed or ground, the database showed us a total of 46 companies who are currently importing ginger, and it shows the name of the company, the country in which it's located, the amount of sample transactions that are available. And let me just click on one of these to delve a little bit deeper. So the name of the company is Home Goods. It tells you the address of the company, so you can do your research on that company, and it tells you other items in which they are importing. So you see the other items, and just to mention, there's a lot more, but there's over 200 items that they're importing. Scroll down the list a little bit. Ginger will be somewhere in this list. So these are all the items that they're currently importing. So if you're doing one, or if you get in with them, you can look to expand by doing additional marketing of different products based on what you see here. All right, so you see that they are importing ginger, but what it also provides is their supplier. So you're looking to export to these countries. Now you can actually explore who are supplying them with these products. So in this case, you can click on the company name and see the potential competitor that you may have in that is currently supplying that company. And it provides more details of what else they supply, and you can do your research on who else they're supplying. So this tool kind of helps you a little bit more in probably doing some market research and get some more information about the company which you're looking to do business with. So far, you know the country that would be looking to import your product. You know more about the country. And now you've actually found companies within the country of interest that you'd like to do business with. So you know you can take it a little step further in contacting these companies and start the process. But now the question will come out. What does it take to actually do the export? What is needed from my side to actually have your product leave Jamaica? So this is where export controls come in. So export controls, this database identifies license requirements and restrictions for exporting any goods used and dual use goods into any country. So country of export, I will choose Jamaica. I will be exporting from Jamaica. Country of manufacturer, leave that Jamaica. Country of imports, let's use United States. Type of use, military / non-military. You can leave that at default, and then you can search for the tariff code. All right. So here are the tariff code. I'm going to highlight something a bit more now. So before I'm not sure if you realize, but we were using up to a 6-digit breakdown of the tariff code. Now we have actually gone to 10 digits. This is actually, because we chose Jamaica as the exporting country, this is actually a Jamaican tariff code breakdown that we're looking at that 10-digit level. So the codes are broken down to 10 digits, and you can now select the item. You still stick with neither crush nor ground, and then you can click on search. So it now provides the results. So it states that there's a license requirement, controls may apply, and it states the entity in which you would need to go to apply for that control. It even mentions the act in which that is found, as well as some notes as to the packaging and other information that might be necessary in the case of your product that you chose. One thing I should highlight as well, I'm not sure if you guys saw this on each one of the modules, we are actually pulling data from different sources around the world. And on each module, we do highlight where we're pulling information from. In the last slides, I will show you the information where we're pulling each modules from. But just to highlight that right here. All right, so we know the export controls that are needed to export from Jamaica, but what about the receiving country? What are the controls that are in place? Is there any license that is required? Is there any permits that are required? Is there any restrictions that are applicable? So we now click on import controls. So the country of import, we would use United States in this case. Country of export, Jamaica. And then we would search via the tariff code. And because we chose, this is our import controls, and we chose the United States as the importing country, the tariff code that is listed here is the American tariff code. I think the total amount of tariff codes that are listed is, I think, is 188 or somewhere over there. I'll find that further down. But for each country that we provide information for, we actually have their tariff code breakdown that is listed here. So this is the United States tariff code breakdown that we're selecting from. So the wording and so forth might be a little bit different from the breakdown in Jamaica that we were looking at before, but you can still search around for your products. So this will be the tariff code that you choose when you're filling out the documents for the United States. All right, in this case, you have to crush or ground. And click on search. So the results that will appear here, it states the different sections. If there's a quota applicable, it states no controls there. There's no tariff rate quota, there's no control there. ADD, CPD, no controls there. License requirements, there's no control there. Miscellaneous controls though, there's controls applied in this case, and it states the control authority, the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Marketing Services, AMS. It provides some notes here of what is required, and it also provides the source of that information. And it also mentioned another control from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services. That control is required there. It mentioned notes here, and also the source of the acts that enable this particular control. And just to mention here, there's a note here, prior declaration is required. So it gives you information beforehand. And then there's also the control authority, and then this mentioned the FDA, where that there's a control in place there as well that you need to speak to the FDA. And it provides more information based on the product. This is kind of general information that you can read based on the product that you have chosen. So now we know the requirements to actually export from Jamaica and to go what is required in America to actually land that product. Shipping documents. This database identifies all the necessary documents to authorize the departure of goods from one country and their entry into another country for all the parties involved in the trade and the transport process. So if the export controls and import controls basically tells you what is required. Now these shipping documents will now provide actually links to the documents or samples where necessary, so you can actually see the documents. States, country of import would be United States in this case, country of export Jamaica, country of manufacture Jamaica, mode of transport C. I can do a country specific, or I can search for a product specific. In this case, I already know the product, so I'll select product specific. This is trying to load the tariff code for the United States. So quite a lot of information so far. I hope I've not lost anyone. Roshane, are you lost?
No, I'm not.
You're
No, I'm
following.
not.
Should I continue? All right, in the interest of time, I will pass this stage. But what will appear here are the documents that are necessary to do the transaction, both from the exporting country, Jamaica, and the importing country, United States. So where there are forms to be filled out, you can fill out those forms. Where in the case they're PDF editable, or in the case that there are forms that are on a system, it will provide samples where applicable. All right. So far, let me just do a recap. So far, from a product that I have, I know now what are the best countries to export. So I have been able to, by using the country profile, being able to do my research on the country that I wasn't familiar with and know more information about their labor requirements, their population, their language, their business practices, quite a number of information on the different countries. I've also been able to identify potential partners in the country that I was interested in, and also learn about export control from my country and the import control into the country that I'm looking to import that product into. So that's quite a lot of information. So what I'll touch now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modules so far out of 21. What I'll touch now, I'll skim up out a little bit and look at the blacklists. So now I've seen a company that I might be interested to do business with. But how do I know this country, this company, if they are legitimate or not? How do I know this individual that I might be looking to do business with? What we provide here is a blacklist counterparts. This database assists in establishing whether a company or an individual has been placed on an official list of parties sanctioned or banned from foreign transactions in the world. This tool also identifies vessels that have been blacklisted in response to fraudulent shipping practices, and there's over 700 lists that are compiled here from the UN, the EU, US consolidated list, and government nationals around the world. So we can either type in an individual in the case that is an individual we're looking to do business with, or we can type in a company. Let's type in a general name. So for example, trade, and see what appear here. So in the case that you have a company that you want to do business with, you can actually run it here to see if there's any blacklisted for that company. A little bit of time to know it, but worst case, I can show you a sample from the presentation. In the interest of time, I'll go to the presentation and show you a sample of what I'm about to show you here. Gone through with these so far. Let's launch this trade. Shipping documents. All right, I can show you also the shipping documents. So the shipping documents, based on what you have entered, you'll be able to see the required documents that are listed, information about the documents, the type of document, and a specimen. As mentioned before, if it's an actual form that is fillable, you'll be able to download the form here and start the process. Or if it's a sample form that's available, you'll be able to see it as well. This is, for example, in this case, the GSP form that is available, you can download and start the process here. This I didn't go through the duty either, but what I should mention here, there are, for the product, you can actually know the duty that is applicable, and in the case that there are trade agreements that are applicable to the exporting country, Jamaica, going into whatever country, in this case we chose the United States, you would see what preferential agreement exists and the duties that you would pay in accordance to benefiting from that agreement. So in this case, the CBI agreements and the GSP agreements. For the CBI agreement, you would pay no duty, no NFD. The GSP, you would see you pay 1 US cent per kilogram. And that is, this example is for ginger, same way. And in the case that you choose not to benefit from the trade agreement, the regular tariff would be 1 US cent per kilogram for that. And then the MFP, there's a charge there. So you would know the duty that you are benefiting from for exporting that product. And you would also see the various different agreements that you can benefit from. On the blacklisted counterparts, so this would be the result that is shown. And the list of entities are shown here. And you can click on any one of these based on if they match your criteria, and you can look at more information of of where it's blocked, who blocked that entity, and why it was blocked, and the date it was blocked, and the official document that was released for the blocking is also available. In this case, this will be one of them that is released by the U.S. Department of Treasury for the company that we chose, which is a Russian company. All right, so based on all that you have seen so far, we have gone through about 8 of the 21 different modules, quite a lot. But I know one of the questions that we normally see or person normally asks, is this information really kept up to date? How do we keep all this information that we're publishing right now up to date? So the beauty about this thing is we're pulling information from all over the world, from reputable sources, and we have an agreement that we get these information updated on a specified frequency. For example, best countries to trade, and that is pulled from the source, the UN country, and the frequency for updating is yearly. In the case of country profiles, Export Enterprise is one who updates the information, and this is a continuous updates. Import and export flows, for example, UN country, and that is yearly. So we have yearly, we have continuously, and we have weekly as well, where market insights are pulled from multiple sources, and that is updated weekly. So these are the sources for the different modules. Shipping documents, we have pulled it from E2 Open, and that frequency of update is daily. Blacklist daily as well, because pull it from multiple sources on a real time. HS code, because that is not really it's based on the country in which they upgrade their tariff listing. That is applicable based on based on when those countries have updated their listing. And I think that pretty much wraps up my presentation. And I've provided some contact information in the case that you want more information on the Export Jamaica. There's my contact information that can reach me or reach out to the T-bill offices. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason, for that insightful presentation. A round of applause, please, for Jason in the chat. So much information was covered about how Export Jamaica can be valuable to exporters and to those who are thinking of exporting. So we truly appreciate this presentation. Now we are at that point of the program where the floor is open to the participants. So we are encouraging you to engage with us through our question and answer segment. I know sometimes when we're online, we are afraid to unmute. We prefer to stay behind the shadows of being online. But at this time, we would like to hear from you about anything relating to Export Jamaica. You may raise your hand or you may type your questions in the chat and we'll acknowledge you. Yes, the recording will be shared, Stacey Ann. Thank you so much for asking. So if you have a question, you may place your question in the chat or you may raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. As an exporter, is there any particular aspect that you need additional clarity on, or you are having problems navigating that Jason can assist with right here and now? Or if you would like additional information, you may indicate and we will be happy to assist you. Any questions? Going once, going twice. It seems as if the presentation was all encompassing and really covered everything that you would like to know about Export Jamaica. As indicated, if you have additional questions, you may contact us regarding this platform. So we are going right into the end of things. And at this time, I am going to re-invite Miss Ashpole again to move the vote of thanks for this occasion.
Thank you, Rasheen. I'm ensuring that I turn on my camera this time. Thank you to all the participants. I know that coming out of Jason's presentation, you see that I wasn't exaggerating when I said that this is the most comprehensive platform, perhaps globally, and I'm even more convinced now that it is perhaps, if not it is one of the most comprehensive platforms globally that provides this type of information. As Jason said, you know, there are 21 modules, and you could see from the 8 presented how useful these modules are. Again, it talks about protocols in terms of trading, which incidentally are some of the non-tariff measures that prevents us from accessing markets. It talks about customs duties, shipping costs, that sort of thing. I do not believe that you can get all of this in one place except from Export Jamaica. And Export Jamaica complements all the other platforms that we have through the Trade Board Limited. So for example, JTIP, you can get additional information on procedures, regulatory processes, and so on. So I implore you again, explore the platform, look at it, look at the usefulness of it, and also feedback what is missing from the platform. That is how we can grow. As Jason said in the presentation, this is information that is not static. It's information that is updated on a daily, monthly, weekly, yearly basis. And so in doing that, we're ensuring that it remains relevant to our exporters. It is, as I said before in my introduction, a practical tool for exporters, traders, persons who are just thinking about export to explore and to be aware of market opportunities before even embarking on that major step to export. So having said that, I just want to thank you again for joining us this morning, and again, joining us on future opportunities to learning more about Export Jamaica. The team, I'm sure, is ready as of this moment to answer your questions. So you can call if you don't want to raise your questions here in this on this platform. You can call the Trade Board Limited. You can reach out directly to Rasheen or Jason to ensure that you fully understand the platform. But in the interim, you can go on. We learn, I think most of us learn by doing, and we learn by exploring. And so I would encourage you to go on the platform, play around with it a little bit, and ask your questions thereafter. Thank you. Again, this is a proud moment. And I think I speak for the team at Trade Board as well as the board of directors of the Trade Board Limited of how proud we are of what we have presented here. But at the same time, we're willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to improve. So with that, have a good rest of day, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ashpole, for that nice summary and for re-emphasizing the value and benefits of Export Jamaica. Now, just a quick PSA, we have 2 other information sessions tomorrow at 10 a.m. and those sessions will be focusing on leveraging trade agreements and the application process for a certificate of origin. So we're going into the nitty-gritty now of export, and so we believe those presentations would be invaluable to exporters. So if you know of other exporters, other industry professionals, you can share the information about those sessions with them. We're looking forward to engaging with those individuals, exporters, manufacturers, and potential exporters tomorrow as we wrap up our information sessions for Global Entrepreneurship Week. Now, finally, just want to say a big thank you for those who have joined. It was wonderful being here. We encourage you to stay connected with us at Trade Board. You can stay connected with us via our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You may also contact us via email, send us a DM. We are waiting, we are ready, we are raring to go to assist our exporters to push export, step up export, and increase exports exponentially. So thank you so much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Goodbye, everyone. Okay, for tomorrow's presentation, you can register at the same link with the extension TA. So I'll share the link in the chat with you to register for tomorrow's presentation. I've shared the link. It's www.tradeboard.gov.jm/register TA. So we look forward to seeing you all. Have a good rest of the day, everyone. Bye.